Photography began as a secret. Louis Daguerre developed and protected it until France purchased the rights in 1839 and gave the process as a gift to the world. The result still feels impossible. People from nearly 200 years ago can meet us eye to eye, and yet they look back with the same nerves before a camera, the same pride in good clothes, the same hopes and worries we all know. In this episode of Art in Motion, we bring those very first photographs, taken almost 200 years ago, back to life in breathtaking clarity with cutting-edge technology. The daguerreotype was a silver-plated copper sheet, polished like a mirror, sensitized with iodine vapor, exposed for several minutes, then developed in heated mercury and fixed with salt. Due to the long exposure time, the subject had to remain motionless throughout in order to achieve a sharp image. This is why the poses often seem stiff and unnatural, and the subjects rarely smiled. Think about it. Could you hold a frozen smile for 2 minutes? Various contraptions were designed to help the subject keep still, such as adjustable posing tables with armrests, and this device to hold head still. This new revolution quickly spread across the world. Within a few years, you could find a photography studio in every city. Our first subject is Constant Huet, photographed in Paris by Daguerre in 1837. This is the earliest surviving portrait created with the new process. One spring morning in 1837, Daguerre set up his camera on the Boulevard du Temple in Paris. Because of the long exposure time, the traffic is an invisible blur, but in the lower left, a man getting his boots shined stayed still long enough to be recorded. The image captures Paris as it was a mere 30 years after the French Revolution. In 1839, across the Atlantic, Robert Cornelius steps into his own frame outside his family's lamp shop in Philadelphia and holds absolutely still. The result is the first known selfie. The earliest born person known to have been photographed is John Adams, born in 1745 and captured here on his 100th birthday. He came into the world before the American Revolution, and yet lived long enough to face a camera. Mary Brice, photographed while enslaved at the Point of Honor plantation in Virginia. Her portrait forces us to see the person, a human presence, preserved by a technology that arrived a decade before slavery was abolished. Abraham Lincoln, before the presidency, before the weight of war, a young lawyer with a thoughtful, unfinished look. 10 years later, he would issue the Emancipation Proclamation, one of the most significant events in US history. The Duke of Wellington, 40 years after defeating Napoleon at Waterloo, poses in front of the newfangled daguerreotype. This handsome young man is Leo Tolstoy at 20 years old. Before War and Peace, before the beard became a legend, a young aristocrat beginning to write his way toward moral questions that would reframe world literature. Frédéric Chopin, captured just months before his death. The composer's fragile health contrasts with the intensity of his gaze. This is how many heard his music. In a salon, intimate and precise. Andrew Jackson, mid-1840s, 7th President of the United States, photographed in his final years. A revolutionary veteran meeting a revolutionary technology. Edgar Allan Poe in 1848. Close-set eyes, austere mouth, a face haunted by the same precision and darkness that shaped modern horror and detective fiction. This is Charles Dickens in mid-career. He hit deadlines, packed his public readings, and kept the audience hooked with cliffhangers. London, 1842. Charles Darwin sits with his firstborn, William. This same year, he quietly drafts the first outline of natural selection. John Quincy Adams in 1843. The sixth president, photographed in old age. This is the oldest surviving photographic portrait of an American president. John Tyler in 1844. The 10th president, caught by the lens at a time when the office and the medium were both learning what lasting visibility meant. Between these famous names are countless unknown sitters from the 1840s and 1850s. They dressed in their best, sat perfectly still, and trusted the light to be kind. They are the first generation to be seen by us exactly as they were. Daguerreotypes do not flatter. They record pores, creases, and the texture of life. That honesty changed how we remember people, not as ideals, but as themselves. When a face from the 1840s looks back at us now, the distance between then and now narrows. We're not making the past modern. We're making it legible to modern eyes. The first people to sit for a camera could not know they were staring into our future. Yet here we are, in theirs. Memory became visible. History became personal. If you enjoyed this quiet journey through the earliest portraits, there's more to come. Subscribe to Art in Motion for new episodes that bring the past, gently, back to life.